everyone, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. As you can probably tell, I am whispering in today's video, which I don't normally do, but this is because I have been losing my voice off and on. I'm feeling a lot better than I did when I spoke to you in yesterday's video, so thank you for all the healing energy and well wishes. But in spite of that, I am still losing my voice, and I want to be as in-depth and detailed as I can during this reading. So bear with me. If the whispering does bother you, you can always click off and watch one of my regular talking videos. In this video, I am doing a twin flame tarot reading. So this is tarot designed specifically for those of you who identify as twin flames. But before I show you the cards and get into the reading, I first want to give a big thank you to this video's sponsor, Keen. I personally have used Keen to get guidance on many different areas of my life. I had a psychic last summer who guided me into pursuing a more passion-fueled career, and it was right when I was getting really nervous about quitting a previous job in order to do this work on my YouTube channel. And the clarity and guidance I got from speaking with this spiritual advisor was incredibly helpful. She encouraged me to continue on with this work that is now my life's work and is now supporting me full time. And I have also gotten guidance on my own insecurities and anxieties when it comes to love and relationships, specifically in my twin flame relationship. So essentially, Keen provides access to vetted psychics and spiritual advisors who can provide guidance for you on any of life's challenges, including, like I just spoke on, clarity in love and career and relationships, and so much more. Really, anything you can imagine that you need a little guidance or intuitive assistance on clearing up or understanding in your life, Keen can be a great resource to connect with spiritual advisors who can help you connect with your own divine intuition and get a little guidance on moving forward in your life. The great thing about Keen is that Keen advisors are available 24/7, which is also something I found really sets them apart from other kinds of psychic apps that I've used. So you can get a reading or a little bit of guidance at any time of day. There is always someone online. However, if you have a specific advisor in mind that you'd like to speak with and they're not online at that time, you can also always schedule a meeting or a call with them, which, by the way, what I personally love about Keen is that you don't actually have to speak on the phone with your advisor if you don't feel comfortable doing that. They also have a messaging option, which is my favorite option for getting guidance, just using text messaging back and forth. Keen is the most affordable way to meet new advisors. When you find the right advisor, developing an ongoing relationship leads to a number of benefits, including monthly intention setting, gaining clarity on the significance of synchronicities, chakra clearing, and guidance within your relationships, including soulmate or twin flame connections. Also, I just want to mention that if you are already a Keen user, be sure to check your emails because Keen does send new discounts every single week. As a new Keen customer, you will get your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. Pricing after that first 10 minutes depends on which advisor you choose, but the services are always backed with a satisfaction guarantee. So to sign up for Keen and get your first 10-minute reading for just $1.99, click the link in the description box below this video. Okay, so now what you are seeing on the screen is an image just showing you the 4 stones or crystals I have picked out for you guys today. The first stone is this beautiful I visited. The second group is, of course, Citrine, this beautiful, bright, vibrant orange colored crystal. The third stone is Amethyst. This is a really clear, beautiful piece of amethyst that I found in that crystal shop I was talking about earlier, with beautiful purple crystal stones on it. And finally, the fourth stone that I picked out for you today is pink Aragonite. This is another stone I wasn't very familiar with, but just felt very drawn to. So go ahead and close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and really try to see through your third eye, through your intuition, which stone, which card and crystal you are feeling the most drawn toward. And once you have selected your stone or crystal, you can go to the pinned comment under this video and skip ahead to your reading. Thank you and enjoy your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the first stone, the Gypsum stone, which actually has a really significant meaning, I didn't want to lead into that too much because I didn't want someone to feel their ego rather than their intuition drawing them to this stone because of the meaning I was attaching to it. But now that you've chosen this through your intuition, I want to tell you the very powerful meaning of this stone that I have discovered in the last few weeks since researching it. So, gypsum is actually associated with balancing energies during a time of immense change or transformation. I already feel just by me saying that some of you are thinking, yes, that really connects with all of the changes I've been experiencing, either within, internally, or externally in my life. Now, hopefully, we can get into the specifics on that change, especially specifically as it may connect to your twin flame connection. But essentially, this stone is meant to help you stabilize yourself. And I am already sensing that many of you are longing for that stability in some sense because you have felt really destabilized lately. And I use that word specifically because I feel like there's been something in your life that you perceive to have caused you to feel destabilized. Again, I'm not sure exactly what this is. This could be something related to career, like losing a job. This could be a death or a sickness in your family. This could be some kind of loss within love or relationships. But I just feel like something has caused you to feel destabilized, either recently or in the near past. I really got this clarified to me because as I was meditating on your group number 1, I instantaneously felt this kind of sick feeling in my gut or my solar plexus area. So I feel that specifically you may be experiencing some kind of block in the solar plexus, which, as I speak about often on this channel, connects with confidence, with decisiveness. And I feel like many of you have lost track a little bit of your own self-confidence, your sense of self-worth. That might not be true for all of you, but I feel some of you will really, really connect with that. And hopefully we will get some more specific messages on that later on. But I need to tell you the card that I pulled for your stone. And I'm just warning you, don't freak out when I tell you the card that I pulled, because I want to explain more about the meaning. It's not all that it seems. The card I pulled for you is death. But I have to tell you that instantly when I flipped over this card, in my head, I didn't hear death as much as rebirth, as much as something dying for the purpose of being reborn. So, in connection with the twin flame journey, this could be a dark night of the soul, a time of turbulence, change, and upheaval that feels like death to the ego. It may even be what we call an ego death, where everything built through an inauthentic or false illusion, to see the rebirth in the ashes of the destruction, to see the new life within the death. So take that however it resonates. I'm really interested to pull our first 6-card spread for you and just get some more information on what is going on with you, specifically with you in your twin flame connection. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. Okay, group number 1. So as I am shuffling these cards, you can go ahead and set an intention for this reading if you'd like. You don't have to, but I find that when I ask you to set an intention, clearer messages tend to come through in these videos, because as we know, energy does not know boundaries when it comes to time or space. So even you setting your intention in the future while watching this video actually co-creates the kinds of messages and information that I am able to bring to you. Okay, so one card is really wanting to come out here. Okay, 2 cards. What does group number 1 need to know about their twin flame connection at this time? Okay, I have 3 cards. Whoa. That 4th card really came out from the deck there. I think I'm going to pull 2 more cards just to make this a 6-card spread. Okay, so I just pulled 5 cards and the 6th card. Okay guys, so let's see what we have here. The first card is the Sun card in reverse. I'm not quite sure how this card applies, so I'm going to be reading a little bit. By the way, one of you asked what I was reading from, and sometimes I feel guided to read from the Energy Oracle Cards Tarot guidebook that comes with the cards, and I find that I'm able to channel certain specific messages through that guidebook. So whenever you hear me reading, that's probably what I'm reading. Okay, so this card resembles new beginnings and great creativity, and that's just when I said new beginnings, I heard that rebirth that we talked about with the Death card that I first pulled for you. And I actually feel like the reason that this rebirth, this new beginning card is in reverse is because although this new beginning is on the horizon for you right now, through the eyes of the ego in the 3D physical world, you are still very much entrenched in the destruction, in the negativity, in the chaos. Or at least that is the illusion, that is what it appears to be. Again, especially through the ego, which likes to see physical real-time success and progress. And I feel that maybe some of you aren't getting that kind of physical confirmation just yet of the energy work you're doing within. The second card that I pulled for you is the 5th chakra, and this is actually in the upright position. This is really interesting. I'm going to potentially read a little bit about this card. Self-expression and speaking your truth. Gabriel holds his trumpet in one hand and a beautiful orb of blue light in the other. He is sending powerful energy to your throat center, acknowledging your power to communicate and your readiness to do so. This angel opens you up to truthful expression, both with yourself and others. I just heard for some reason confession of love. I feel like there's been some opening up of communication, or if there hasn't been yet, there will be, between you and this person you're asking about, potentially your twin flame connection, your counterpart. I feel like this communication, okay, this is kind of a weird message, but I feel like for some of you, this communication actually came up as a result of this chaos, negativity, and destruction that you've experienced in your life. I feel like through this death and rebirth, there's been some kind of a shift, either in your life or in their life, that has caused some kind of external 3D contact. Either you feeling inspired to reach out to them, or them feeling inspired to reach out to you. And if this hasn't happened yet, I hear that it will be coming, that there's been, okay, so I'm hearing that either you've gotten communication from this person recently, you've Because like I said in my video on signs someone is thinking about you that I uploaded a few days ago, we are able to energetically, intuitively sense when someone is thinking about us a lot. And I feel like if your person hasn't communicated with you, you have sensed that they have wanted to reach out. So that won't apply to all of you, but I hope that whoever that connects with, this message reaches you. The third card I pulled is action, but it's in the reverse position. This is really interesting because I've done so many readings, but I'm not sure that I've ever actually pulled this card before. It's just weird how it works like that. Some cards tend to come out a lot and others don't. So there are two horses on this card, and in my mind's eye I saw them moving very quickly, and I feel like this connects back with that gypsum. I feel like things in your life, either you trying to work through your action. I just saw someone working to exhaustion, so some of you might be feeling really stressed literally at work, at your job. For others of you, this is just a feeling of restlessness, like things are moving too quickly, so quickly that you aren't even able to keep up with them. And I felt this more as an advice card than anything else. It's in the reversed position because you're being guided to release your need to take action. If you are a divine feminine listening to this, I feel like there is a divine feminine listening who has been overworked, overexhausted, really stepping into an overly masculine state, like I talked about in my wounded feminine video from yesterday. I feel like this is someone who has been trying to justify their worth through action, and I just felt that through my heart chakra. Someone has felt the need to justify their abundance, their existence on this planet through their hard work, action, and effort, and you're being guided to release that need to always be in an action mode, to accept that you are worthy not as a result of what you do, but as a result of who you are. I also feel that if you do use crystals and you happen to see gypsum that you can purchase, or you happen to come across it in a store, you may find this crystal specifically to be a really balancing, stabilizing force. I know personally, since purchasing this, I have felt much more balanced, grounded, and stable. So if you feel guided to crystal work, this may help you out if that message is speaking specifically to you. Also, if you are that divine feminine, I just feel guided to mention this also. If you are interested in using sound therapy to boost your confidence, your sense of clarity and life purpose, your independence, to heal your divine feminine energy, you can do so by immersing yourself in frequencies and subliminal unconscious affirmations that help to clear out these unnatural blockages that are preventing you from fully connecting with your natural divine feminine intuition and power. Emphasis on power, your goddess power that you have naturally within you to effortlessly manifest in your life. So I've created a divine feminine healing subliminal that I have called the Awakened Divine Feminine. This is available on my member website, Sound and Soulful, so you can check out more information about this by clicking the link. I will be leaving links under your group number to any subliminals I might recommend or mention during this video. The fourth card I pulled for you is Envy, and this is the card that just literally jumped out. I feel a few different messages coming through on this card. I feel that some of you instantaneously just knew what I was talking about. You knew that there was some situation that had caused you to feel jealous or insecure, and I feel that this situation caused you to step out of your power. Specifically, if you're a divine feminine, you lost touch with your own intuition, and rather than relying on intuition, you stepped into this ego space because of either a third party that you were jealous of or some kind of insecurity you felt within the relationship. However, if you are a divine masculine, I feel like a similar kind of energy or circumstances going on. Maybe you became envious of some other third party connection, although I'm feeling many people connecting with this will be divine feminines, which is why I'm focusing specifically on the DF for that message. So take that however it resonates, and hopefully we will get more clarity and guidance on this potential insecurity or envious previous situation, but I feel like this is directly connected with the healing you need to do earlier, like we spoke on in the third chakra, in the solar plexus, and also in the throat chakra. I feel that for many of you, by stepping into your own power, if you're a divine feminine, stepping into your feminine power, if you're a masculine, stepping into your masculine power, which, by the way, I do also have a subliminal for the awakened divine masculine, so I'll leave that below as well, because I don't want to leave out the masculines in this message. But I just saw the yin-yang kind of energy being thrown out of balance, and I feel that within your connection, the envy that one person within this connection is feeling is throwing them out of their power, and then causing, of course, a shift in the balance in the whole relationship, causing the other person to react in some kind of a way, and then it's leading, I just see this cycle moving around and around, this negative cycle that is perpetuated and fueled by envy, insecurity, and lack of confidence, because really, envy is just a combination of lack of confidence, feeling powerless, and sometimes not clearly expressing ourselves or speaking our truth. So through doing third chakra and fifth chakra, the solar plexus and throat chakra healing and clearing, we can really focus upon our own power, our own strength, and be able to overcome these envious or insecure feelings that are preventing full harmonious connection with our twin flame. So take that as it resonates, if that speaks to you. The fifth card I pulled is the World card, but interestingly, it's in the reverse position. And the message I just heard is, I want to give you the world. I feel like some of you have been waiting for an offer from this other person, either them reaching out to you, communicating in the physical, them proposing, them asking you to be in a relationship. I feel someone in this connection desiring some kind of physical manifestation. I see someone grasping for something that they can't touch, and I feel that's what's going on with you in this connection. You are reaching, grasping at what you feel to be thin air, like grasping at thin air, feeling like you feel the depth, the power, and the harmony of this connection in your heart and soul with every ounce of your being. But when it comes to looking around through your physical eyes, taking the world in through your physical senses, you feel like things aren't manifesting in this connection like they should be. And I feel this could even be feeding into those feelings of insecurity or jealousy or anxiety, whatever it may be, that we recently discussed. It perpetuates this cycle because you keep feeling the connection, feeling this love, this depth, and then looking around and trying to measure what you feel based on what you see. And when what you see isn't aligning with what your heart and soul knows to be true, you become really confused and sometimes blame yourself, wondering what's wrong with me, and sometimes blame the other person, wondering what's wrong with them. But either way, whether it's self-judgment or external judgment of the other person, it is blocking off the flow of unconditional love that should naturally, or is trying to naturally flow back and forth between the two of you, and it's actually perpetuating this disconnect. But I hear that if you are the one feeling this way, the person you have in mind actually wants to give you that physical evidence. They want to manifest this connection in the 3D, this next step, whatever you have in mind, whether it's a relationship, deeper communication, a date, marriage, wherever you're at in this journey, they want to give you that. But I'm hearing that they're indecisive because they need something. They need something in order to do that. And I don't know just what they need yet. So hopefully we'll get more information on that. But I feel like this person, I just keep hearing needs healing. So maybe what they really need is to heal within themselves. But of course, within a twin flame connection, the healing is always mirrored. So as you heal and shift the balance of the energy within yourself, you are also capable of healing this other person, your twin flame. You uplift the whole of the connection when you uplift yourself, which, by the way, just because we've talked so much about certain chakra blocks in this reading, if you are a member on my subliminal site, I would also really highly recommend my Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing Subliminal, because this will address blockages connected to the twin flame relationship that you may be harboring in your energy field in any of the 7 chakras. So you can actually add this to a playlist. We now have a custom playlist feature, so you could create your own subliminals playlist through the site, including this 7 chakra clearing, along with any other subliminals that may resonate with you. So again, that will be linked under your group number in the description box. And finally, the 6th card I pulled for you is the Journey card, but this is in the reverse position. This card also came up in the reverse position in my reading from yesterday, which was a collective reading. And the meaning, the energy of this card felt the same. In the last reading I said, this card was speaking to me, don't go, don't walk away. And I'm feeling the same kind of message coming through, which makes sense because I just did that reading yesterday. And although this reading is more specific, I still expected some of those collective messages to repeat themselves in this reading. I'm hearing this from your person. I'm very clearly hearing someone say, please don't go. It's like they're begging you. But I feel like for many of you, this person is very stoic and they would never actually say this aloud. I hear for some of you, I just heard false independence, and I don't know who this will connect with, but I feel like someone's person on the inside, and maybe this is that illusion we were talking about seeing past at the beginning of this reading, but I feel like someone's person on the inside is pleading, begging with you not to go, not to leave. And I feel like you actually can sense that through your energy. But on the external, in the 3D, this person is very stoic, very quiet, the strong, silent type. They're kind of putting up this image of being highly independent, of not really needing you, not really needing the connection. This won't apply to all of you, but I feel like this person is someone who isn't quick to express their emotions and feelings through physical words. And this is confusing some of you because you are feeling energetically being so connected to this person as your twin flame. You can feel through every ounce of your being that it's like this person is begging you to stay. But I just heard they're saying it in every way except words. So I feel that message really connects with someone. And someone needed that confirmation that what you are sensing, the fact that you are sensing that this person wants you to stay, that's not you being crazy. That's really what you are picking up through their energy. It's just that they don't always know how to express that through physical words. For many of you, this will be a wounded masculine, and for some of you, this will be an earth sign. I'm hearing some of you, this person may be a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising that we're dealing with here. Again, that won't be for everyone, just channeling whatever specific messages come through here. Okay, so I'm actually kind of feeling like we're done with the energy oracle card deck for now. I'm feeling guided to just pull a few descriptor cards. These are kind of just random words and phrases that may connect with you or your person. I like to pull these because I find that they help people really more deeply connect with these readings in a personal way. So the first card I pulled is Angelic. I just heard that you are divinely protected and guided. So I feel like for some of you, this is just a confirmation that you are surrounded by angels, or if you don't connect with angels, surrounded by guides, surrounded by divine forces that are guiding you in the direction of healing, both within your life and within this connection. And I just feel that many of you have felt very alone, very unprotected. Many of you have had to do many things on your own, and you need to hear that you are being guided, that this is a divinely guided path, a divinely guided connection. But I also feel that for some of you, whenever this card comes out, I always get a kind of an adoring love vibe from it. So for some of you, this is your person speaking to you, that they think of you as being very angelic. And I just heard for some of you, they think of you as so angelic, it actually kind of scares them because it almost seems surreal. It almost seems, I just heard, too good to be true. And this actually may be part of what your person is healing, because commenting like, interesting to themselves while they were looking at pictures online of someone else. So I feel like this person does feel extremely connected to you. It sounds weird, but they're like watching you, they're keeping up with you, even if you feel like they're being really distant in the physical. And the other card I pulled is first love. And I actually feel like for many of you, this doesn't necessarily mean that you were each other's first relationship. I just heard that you make it feel like it's the first time they fell in love, because I feel like one or both of you felt like you had had love in the past. And oh my gosh, I'm getting this really strongly. I'm starting to like feel goosebumps. I feel like you had what you thought was your first love in the past, but then you met your twin flame, then you met this person, and I just saw someone's jaw just like dropping to the floor. It's like you just realized that what you experienced as first love was so shallow compared to what you are now experiencing, and that kind of contrast causes you to feel like even though you've had like love, surface level love in relationships before, you truly feel as if this person is your first love. And I'm getting the feeling that this energy runs in both connections again, whether or not you are hearing this in words from this person. I feel like this first love kind of energy, this feeling like this is your person and that you've never felt anything like this before, is really running in both directions, which of course would only make sense for a twin flame connection, because even if we as twin flames aren't fully expressing this love, that unconditional love is always there as an unbreakable bond, an eternal bond between us. Okay, so first I'm going to pull some sign cards. This could be your or your person's sun, moon, or rising sign. I also always like to say as a disclaimer, these are really hyper-specific messages, so if they don't resonate, that's okay. Just take whatever resonated with you from the reading. Okay, Aries, Cancer, Virgo, Pisces, and Taurus. I was going to say, like, if Taurus doesn't come out, I'm going to be really confused because I'm feeling a lot of Taurus energy from this reading. But just to reiterate, Taurus, Aries, Cancer, Virgo, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, either your sign or your person's sign. And now the last thing I'm going to do is pull some potential letter initials. So for those of you who don't know, I actually use letter dice for this. Okay, so what are some potential letter initials of you, your person, first, middle, or last name? Alternatively, sometimes these dice also spell words that apply to your reading. R, V, M, B, I, M, X, Q, G, F, O, W. I know that the word run wasn't actually spelled, but I just heard run, and then what was spelled was go. And together, this kind of energy, I'm feeling like this reconnects with what we said earlier about don't go. Like someone begging someone, not through their words, but through their energy, through their thoughts, begging someone, pleading with someone not to go. But I don't really sense that either person is really thinking about leaving, really thinking seriously about running. It might look that way on the surface. There might be some kind of emotional disconnect or separation, but I feel like the love is so strong between you and this person that I just heard someone kind of responding to that don't go with like, it would be impossible for me to go. I feel like you both sense the inevitability of this connection and the impossibility of truly escaping it, even if you were to uproot yourself to go somewhere else to be with someone else. I feel like you both have this very profound awareness that you would always be looking for each other and every other person that you met. So, group number one, I hope this reading was helpful for you. If you resonated with any of the subliminals I mentioned, which I believe were my 7 chakra clearing subliminal, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but also my subliminal for self-confidence, I will leave because we talked a lot about confidence in the 3rd chakra, and I will also leave links to healing the divine feminine or divine masculine, whichever you resonate most with. And when you sign up for a membership on my website, your card and your stone prior to doing this video, so I want to share some initial thoughts that come through. First of all, I just want to say that citrine is connected directly to healing the solar plexus, which ironically enough is something I also discussed in group number 1's reading that kind of kept coming up. I feel this is really a collective wound because I hear the solar plexus coming up again and again when I do collective general readings as well as these specific readings for twin flames. And it makes sense because so many of us at this time on the planet are waking up to our own power and potential, resolving generational wounds and trauma that are often stored through the solar plexus center through the third chakra, and these wounds can often manifest themselves as a lack of confidence or self-esteem. So they must be healed in order to promote the positive, vibrant flow of energy throughout our entire energy body, throughout our being, and citrine is a great healing crystal for this practice. So now I'm going to share with you the card that you chose associated with this crystal, and this card is the 7 of Cups. So already I just heard when I flipped this card over daydream, and it makes sense because the 7 of Cups is connected with reflection, with sentiment, with imagination, but I also heard beneath this daydreaming kind of this longing for something. So I know I'm being really general at this point, but I feel like all of this is going to connect back later on in the reading. I do feel like there is either some indecision within your connection or some lack of clarity on something. And again, these are just initial, really general messages. I feel like someone in the connection feels as though they are choosing between either two people or two paths. I'm seeing very clearly a path with a fork in the road that goes two different directions, two very different directions. So I feel that either this is you trying to decide between two romantic partners, maybe you are trying to decide between truly committing yourself emotionally with mind, body, and soul to your twin flame connection, or whether to connect with a different romantic partner, or maybe alternatively, this is your twin flame's energy. Maybe you feel as though they are deciding between whether to stay with you or to pursue this connection with you, or to stay or be with some other third party, some other person. But again, this might not be a person. I can see that for some of you, this isn't so much a choice in love and relationships as it is a choice in your life that's just coming through really strongly in this reading, because this is something that's been weighing on you, something I'm hearing a lot of stay or go energy, whether this is in connection to a person, a job, some kind of decision. I feel that in the past you were really decided on this person, place, or thing, but recent circumstances have caused you to suddenly feel very indecisive. I feel that for many of you, you feel like you came up on this fork in the road too quickly and you're not sure which path to take. Again, all of this may just be applying to a few people. Some of you may not yet be connecting with this reading, and that's okay. I just know that some of you listening are facing some kind of decision, and I want to acknowledge that for those of you with whom it resonates. So I also feel that this indecision, for those of you who connect with that, is directly a result of solar plexus blocks. So a lack of self-confidence is making this decision difficult for some reason. So I feel like for some of you, this may be you or your person. Okay, this is going to be really specific, so this may just connect with one person. But I feel like for someone, you or your person, your twin flame, may be connecting with a third party. And this could be, I'm hearing for some of you, I just keep hearing that someone has been in some kind of long-term marriage or relationship, something that was very 3D, very seemingly stable on the surface, and then their twin flame came in and just shook their whole world, and suddenly they felt like they had to make a decision whether to stay with this person that was familiar, that felt stable, that seemed to check all of their boxes through the ego, through a 3D perspective, and maybe even through the eyes of others, or whether to pursue their highest love, relationship, and connection. And this choice is made very difficult because they're lacking the self-confidence to make the choice that they know to be the best choice were to heal this blockage in your solar plexus chakra, if you were to boost your own self-confidence, that will be the key to accurately making this decision, because I'm hearing that you will have clear sight as soon as you clear out these remnants of blockages that you're experiencing in regards to self-esteem, self-confidence, the third chakra. The answer will become evident to you, because I feel that you already know the answer deep down, but there are just all these layers of fear, all of these layers of lack of self-worth, lack of self-confidence that are making it difficult for you to clearly see and act upon this accurate answer, this right choice. So I'm hearing that what you really need to focus on at this time, group number 2, is boosting your own self-confidence and clearing out any solar plexus blocks, which, by the way, I am going to recommend subliminals during this reading. I feel you may benefit from. I create subliminals through my member website, Sound and Soulful. I know many of you are members there. So if you are a member, I have created a subliminal for self-confidence, and I feel you would really benefit from listening to this to help you to boost your own sense of self-worth and confidence. If all of this is resonating with you and you have some kind of decision in your life but feel like you're lacking the self-esteem or self-confidence, so I will leave any subliminals I recommend in your reading, group number 2, under your group number in the pinned comment and the description box, so you can click the link and learn more about that. Okay, so I feel I've shared everything that came through initially for you, group number 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull a 6-card spread from my Energy Oracle Cards deck. Okay, so I am just shuffling the cards right now. And as I shuffle, whoa, one card just came out. Group number 2, I really want you to set a kind of intention. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I know that some of you will really want to set an intention, or you have some kind of question in mind, maybe even a very specific question that led you to this reading video. So I want you to solidify that intention in your heart and soul. You can even say it aloud if you want to, because as I always say, whenever you set an intention, because energy doesn't recognize time limitations, when you set your intention in the future watching this video, you actually affect the messages that I'm bringing to you right now in the technical past before you watching this video, which I know sounds weird, but time really doesn't exist. It's all a physical limitation of the mind. Okay, so I've pulled 5 cards for you, and I really want to pull one more. Okay, group number 2, so let's see what we have here. The first card I pulled for you is the first chakra in the reversed position. And as we know, the first chakra is the root chakra. So it connects to our foundation, our sense of security in the most primal level of our being, simply feeling safe and protected. So for some reason, I just heard foundation has been shaken. I feel like something about the foundation of your life has felt like it's been shaken in some way. I saw kind of an earthquake event for many of you. I feel like for many of you, this all connects to some kind of big, significant event that happened in your recent past that shook you to the very core of your soul. This could be so many different things. I'm channeling a lot of different messages coming through. For some of you, this was simply connecting with your person in the physical, your twin flame, that just shook your whole world, shook up your whole life. For others of you, this may have not been related to this person at all, but was some kind of big, I'm hearing, for most of you, I feel like this was negative, it was, meeting your twin flame, losing a job, having some kind of trauma in your life, some kind of earthquake level, metaphorically speaking, of course, event in your life has thrown things out of balance. I feel this card is just really reiterating the first card, that you have felt very unbalanced within yourself as a result of lacking this sense of a strong foundation. But the third card I pulled for you is the fifth chakra, and in the upright position. Whoa, okay, I felt this really strongly just a second ago. I feel like you are learning to use your voice to authentically express yourself and your truth. And I feel for many of you, you spent a long time silent. I just heard lost your voice. I feel like because of some person or circumstance, maybe it was a childhood wound, maybe you felt silenced by your parents, teachers, or caregivers, but many of you were silent, metaphorically speaking. You didn't fully express your truth to other people because of this fear, but now I feel that many of you are more authentically and confidently expressing yourself, and this is an integral path to your healing, an integral part rather to your healing and growth. And I'm just feeling you being applauded for all of this healing that you've done on your throat chakra, this ability you've had now to express yourself. However, ironically, I feel, okay, this is a very strange kind of specific message, but I feel like some of you are feeling like the more you express your truth authentically, the more your life gets shaken up, the more confused you become, the more out of balance things become. And if this is you and you're feeling that way, you need to know that just because things appear to be out of balance, because I know for many of you they do appear this way, just because you feel like your foundation of security is being shaken, this could be just the ego's perception of your life. You could be going through some kind of ego death where the ego is needing to crumble, needing to be deconstructed. But you should continue to speak your truth, to speak out, to be honest and authentic, even if it feels like, I just heard for some of you, it's affecting your relationships. So this could be maybe your family doesn't like that you're suddenly speaking your truth, being more authentic, being stronger. Maybe you are losing friends or platonic connections, but you need to know that Spirit is going to cut out whatever connections are inauthentic, are not in alignment with your highest path and purpose, and that it might feel lonely for a while. Your world might feel shaken for a while. You might feel out of balance because you feel like you are being so authentic and honest that so many people are being repelled from your life. But you need to know that it's because you are developing this strong magnetism within you through using your voice, through radiating your authenticity, that what is happening is you are powerfully attracting, magnetically attracting your soul tribe, but simultaneously, just as strongly, you are going to repel any connections that are not meant for you. The magnet works both directions, so the more powerful and magnetic you become, ironically, the more you will also repel people who are not aligned with your core soul frequency. So the fourth card I pulled for you is the Journey card, of course, in reverse again. I pulled this both in my collective reading that I did yesterday and also in group number one's reading. I'm feeling like if this decision, if you're the one facing the decision that we talked about earlier, and you are deciding, because in this Journey card I see a fork in the road and signs pointing different directions, I feel like I just heard the ego thinks there's a decision to make, but the decision has already been made. I know that sounds really weird and kind of airy-fairy or poetic or something, but what I mean by that is this. I feel like in your heart and soul you already know there is only one direction for you, and for many of you, okay, I just heard very strongly for some of you, the direction is forward or backwards. So what I mean is the direction is to forge forward into your own growth and healing, to continue becoming more you really prided yourself in knowledge you had about the physical world. I feel like some of you are really highly educated, or you got a college degree, or in high school you were always a bookworm, or really intellectual, really into reading, into logic, into understanding the physical world. But I feel like something through this spiritual awakening process that you've gone through in connection to your twin flame relationship or divine counterpart, your logic and reason has really come into question. You've experienced things in your life that completely defy your sense of logic, and you've been asked to release your need to fully understand through your own logic this connection and everything that's happening to you. I just heard that some of you are trying to apply this same logic that you used to apply to your classes or to your education to this connection. You're trying to pick apart all the possible signs of the connection and then apply them to your relationship. You're researching twin flame material all the time. And you're just doing all of this to try to make logical sense of something that feels completely illogical to you. And what you need to know is that I feel like you're being gently guided to understand that not everything can be explained through logic, through the mind. Some things can't be seen through the eyes, they can only be seen through the third eye, through the intuition. I feel that many of you along your path are learning to be able to trust what you sense and what you feel, regardless of whether you can explain it with logic, with facts, with concrete evidence. And finally, the last card I pulled for you is the Sun card in reverse, which ironically, again, I've pulled like 3 cards in this spread that I also pulled in group number 1, so I feel a lot of collective energy coming through. This card represents new beginnings, but it's in the reversed position, so I feel like I do feel a near future energy with this card, especially considering this was the last card that I pulled in your spread. I feel like that I just heard new beginning on the horizon. I feel like something is coming for you, something is on the horizon for you, some kind of breakthrough is coming. But I think that you listening would be surprised to hear this, because again, I feel like many of you have been somewhat confused, or there's been this element of indecisiveness either with you or with your person, or you've been in the dark in some way. But you need to know that some kind of breakthrough is either in the midst of happening or is coming. And I feel like some of you who are very intuitive have felt this shift. You felt this shift into something new, some kind of rebirth taking place in your connection or in your life, and you're being asked to, with the thinking woman in reverse, to release your need to fully know, to know exactly when or how this is going to happen, how it's going to come together, to release that, to continue authentically expressing yourself and your truth with the 5th chakra in order to come into balance. Because although you've been out of balance, although things have felt shaken up in your life, this was all part of your path, and eventually things will settle out, things will come back into balance. But you can't let that root chakra imbalance, that primal fear, that primal need for security and stability, to hold you back from your highest purpose and from what your soul knows to be true. Okay, group number 2. So I didn't do this for the first group, but I'm really feeling guided to my Angel Answers deck. I just want to pull a couple potential cards for you to see if we can get any more information, because I feel like a lot of these messages for your reading have been a bit general, and I really want to get more specific on what you may need to hear for your twin flame or divine counterpart connection specifically. The first card that came out is Let Go, and I very clearly heard this had nothing to do with letting go of this person, and everything to do with letting go for your need, letting go of your need for control, going back to the thinking woman in reverse, releasing your need to see the concrete evidence of everything before you allow yourself to feel it, before you allow yourself to understand it through the intuition, because I feel many of you are very logically minded and really seek that concrete evidence and the stability that you get from that. But I'm really hearing that you're not going to have that right now, because you are on this path of being able to find stability through your own intuition, even when you don't see the physical manifested evidence of what your intuition knows to be true just yet. So I know that was a little bit convoluted, but I hope that that makes sense to those of you who need to hear it. And the second card I got, of course, own ego mind. I just felt this in my solar plexus when I pulled this card. But the third card I pulled is yes, just with an exclamation point, exclaiming yes. So I feel like some of you came to this video looking for some kind of specific confirmation or affirmation of something. So this is you being guided to the answer yes, you being told yes, you are correct about whatever you are feeling intuitively or whatever you are asking about. Now I am going to just pull some potential sign cards, either sun, moon, or rising sign for you or your person, and also some letter initials. As I always say, these are really hyper-specific portions of the reading, so if they don't apply to you, that is okay. Just take whatever resonates with you from this reading. Okay, so I'm going to start by pulling a few sign cards. I got Capricorn, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Aries. So Capricorn, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, or Aries, sun, moon, or rising could be you or your person's sign or something strong in your chart, or these could just be messages intended for someone else. And finally, I am going to pull some of the letter initial dice for you guys, group number 2. These could be letter initials, first, middle, or last name for you or your person, or sometimes these dice actually spell words that connect to your reading. O, B, D, U, W, and U again. And since there's double U's, this may indicate that this person has some kind of double letters in their first or last name. H, C, Z, Z as in zebra. I know I'm whispering, so it's hard to tell. Q, and N. So if any of those letters resonate with you, first, middle, or last name, thank you so much, group number 2. That is all for your reading. If you would like to check out the self-confidence subliminal I mentioned in your reading, as well as a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal that I recommend to all groups, all twin flames listening, because this subliminal specifically clears out blockages connected to the twin flame connection that could be stored in any of the 7 chakras in your energy field. So this is designed to help you to release any negative subconscious habits of thought, preventing full connection with your twin flame, to magnetize your energy for calling in this highest love connection and manifesting it in a more profound, deeper way in the physical 3D world as well. So to learn more about either of these subliminals I've recommended to you, you can check the links that will be linked below under your group number in the pinned comment and the description box. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hello, group number 3. If I sound a little bit different, it's because I needed to take a break. Each of these groups has just had a lot of messages, a lot of information coming through. I wasn't sure how long this reading in its entirety was going to be, but it seems like this is going to be about a 2-hour-long video, so I just needed to take a little break. And part of why I needed this break is because I felt a lot of explosive, intense energy coming from your group. Not explosive in necessarily a negative way, just a lot of energy. And I feel that this really connects with the tarot card that I selected for your group, which was the Lover's card, of course. And it's funny because very often when I do a reading with an amethyst stone as one of the groups, this so often is the group that gets the most twin flame specific messages and cards that come through. So I just feel guided to start by saying, if you came to this video with the specific intention of determining whether or not this specific person in mind is your twin flame or your divine counterpart, however you use that term, whichever term resonates with you, this is your confirmation. confirmation that yes, this is a bona fide twin flame connection. I can feel that kind of energy coming from your groups, and it was really reaffirmed with the Lover's card, which of course the Lover's card really represents either a twin flame or a very high level soulmate connection when we're talking about a love reading. And you need to know, although I feel that you already know, that this is a divinely intended connection. Also, while I was reading into the energy of your group, meditating on your crystal and card, I heard the term many lifetimes, and I saw almost this flash of images from past lives. So I feel that you and this person have lived many, many, many lifetimes together, which of course makes sense since you are dealing with a twin flame here. It would only make sense that you have been bound eternally together through lifetime after lifetime. But I feel that some of you listening have actually recently had glimpses into these past lives, either through dreams, which, by the way, I just feel guided to share this for someone who may need to hear it. But if you've been having dreams where you are dreaming of a person who may not look like your twin flame looks in the physical world in this lifetime, but this person in the dream, although they look different and the circumstances are different, you feel that you are connecting with the energy of your twin flame. What could be happening through this dream is you are actually receiving a past life regression. So you are receiving memories or downloads of past life experiences with your twin flame. So I just felt the need to say that before getting into this reading. I also heard the words high covenant when I was meditating on your card, which leads me to believe that you and this person have made some kind of eternal promise to yourself, which of course, as twin flames, the promise that twin flames make to one another amongst many other promises and soul intentions is that in every lifetime they will heal, evolve, and expand one another. And prior to this lifetime specifically, you made the covenant or the promise with this other soul that you would meet, that you would reconnect. And I just kind of felt this lurching feeling in my gut. We've talked a lot in other readings about the solar plexus, which is in kind of the upper abdomen area under the ribcage, but above the belly button, kind of in the area that we would call the gut when we're talking about gut feelings or intuition. And I feel like you have very strong and have always had very strong gut feelings about this person. You may have even been dealing with weird solar plexus feelings. I just heard butterflies, so I feel like one of the ways that you recognize your twin flame in their presence is you get very strong butterflies-like sensations in your solar plexus, which whenever you get these butterflies, these aren't just the traditional romantic, oh, butterflies in my stomach kind of feelings. You need to know this is actually you processing this powerful, intense energy from your divine counterpart through the solar plexus, and you feeling your own intuition, verifying the depth of the connection you have with this person. I just heard you experience recognition through the solar plexus, which I know sounds like kind of a weird message, but I feel like someone will connect with this. Like, I just heard even when this person isn't looking at you or isn't necessarily nearby, you can get butterflies in your stomach. You get these solar plexus sensations from them. That is just your intuition, your gut telling you this is your person. So I hope that message reaches whoever may need to hear it. And again, I am channeling many, many hyper-specific messages in this reading. So please just take whatever resonates with you and leave the rest. Okay, so now that I've got those initial messages that I channeled shared with you guys, I'm going to do some real-time channeling through tarot and through my own intuition here. And I'm going to start by pulling a 6-card spread from my favorite deck, the Energy Oracle Cards deck. As I'm shuffling, I just want to ask you, group number 3, wherever you are in the world listening, to create some kind of intention. This intention could be as simple as I want to receive whatever I am meant to receive from this reading, or it could be something very specific that you want confirmation on. Because as I said to the other groups, energy does not know the boundaries of time, so use share with you. That's what I mean when I say that every one of you listening is truly co-creating these videos and readings with me, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you for doing that, for sharing your energy and intentions here. Okay, so I pulled one card. What does group number 3 need to know about their twin flame, about their person, about this connection? Okay, 3 cards came out. 4 cards. You know what? I was going to pull 6. Oh, and a 5th card came out. Okay. I pulled 5 cards. I was only actually going to pull 4 because I changed my mind. But then that 5th card just really wanted to come out because it literally flew out of the deck. So clearly you were meant to hear that message. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip over all the cards. I went one by one on the cards in groups 1 and 2, but because of the intensity of your energy, and I feel there's a lot of complexity here, I really wanted to flip over all the cards at once to give us a big picture. Okay, so the first card I got was Happy Family, but in reverse. And I'm feeling very strongly that some of you have had to either break up a family, or you perceive that you are breaking up a family, or your twin flame broke up your family in some way. So I'm getting many messages, so bear with me because not all of these will probably resonate, but I want to channel everything that's coming through. So the first message I got is for some of you. For some of you, you felt as though you came into your twin flame's life when they were married to a third party. There was some kind of family that they'd already created, and you felt like the home wrecker to this family. Or if not, this could be in the reverse. So you met your twin flame when you were in a marriage, and I feel that prior to you coming into each other's lives, many things about this marriage looked really happy. If this was a marriage, again, this won't be everyone, but one of the messages I'm just sharing here. So I feel that by all appearances, this marriage or family did seem very happy on the surface, but I'm hearing that when your twin flame came into your life, or you came into their life, you redefined the meaning of happiness for each other. You thought that you were happy, but really you were settling for less than the true, pure, unconditional love you deserved, that you didn't even know existed until this person came into your life. And that's really just the nature of the twin flame connection. I often call this connection the Marianas Trench of our soul. It's the deepest love connection we can experience in this life, in this world. It's the most eternal connection. It's the connection that has been with us since the origin of our soul. And so we can feel in love, we can feel happy prior to meeting a twin flame with other people. But oftentimes once we meet them, we didn't even know the depths of connection that we were capable of experiencing. And we find it very hard to settle for anything less after meeting them. Now, if this doesn't connect with you, either breaking up a family or having your family broken up, I feel that for some of you, your family did not approve of this person. They didn't approve of your twin flame. And I feel like in the beginning, this caused a lot of turbulence within your family. Or for others of you, I feel like because of the spiritual awakening triggered by the twin flame connection, you began to express your true authentic purpose and were on your authentic path, and this caused some kind of break with your family. This is a weirdly specific message, but I feel that one of you listening came from a very religious family who either had a rigid idea of who they wanted you to end up with or marry, or didn't approve of your twin flame because of this very rigid, strict religion. Or alternatively, they didn't like the way you changed and moved away from this religion when you woke up. And I feel that for some of you, this caused a major break with your family that was very painful for you, but also inevitable to your growth and expansion. So again, I know those were a lot of different messages. I feel that many of you listening chose group number 3 because I'm feeling many different intentions coming through, which of course makes sense because I feel many of you as twin flames really connect with that third eye symbolic stone, that amethyst stone. So bear with me as I bring through a lot of various messages throughout this reading. I can already feel so many different messages coming through. But anyway, really hear this in connection with the happy family in reverse card. I feel like whatever happened, whatever break in family, whether it was you breaking up their marriage, them breaking up yours, one or both of you moving away from your family, this was all part of your soul contract that you set with each other, that you created with each other. You chose these families or circumstances to be born into or to come into for the purpose of then meeting one another and having the courage to change or leave those dynamics, to move forward with your life, to expand. This was an integral part of your soul contract. And in connection with that, I'm hearing even more so from the contract card. This is just the confirmation for anyone who needs to hear it. If you are experiencing anything that seems really strange, confusing, chaotic, I feel that some of you came to this video wanting confirmation or asking, why is such and such happening? Why is this or that happening? And Spirit is telling you it is happening because your soul intended for it to happen this way. And I'm getting that for many of you, this may be a hard pill to swallow because certain difficulties in your life have been really hard to overcome. And sometimes it's hard to imagine that you would have chosen this path, that you would have wanted these difficulties. But what Spirit is telling you is that you, within your twin flame connection, made this promise to yourself and to your twin flame that you would choose these obstacles, that you would overcome these difficulties because you are growing and expanding and healing on a very, very deep level. But if those difficulties ever do become overwhelming for you, I'm also hearing that you should find some way to truly ground yourself, to clear your energy, because you're going to need to have a lot of courage and self-confidence moving forward to continue fulfilling these soul contracts in spite of at times feeling lonely, which I'm getting the loneliness with the next card, the community in reverse card. So connected with the breaking up of this family in the first card and now lack of community, I feel like because of either the changing family dynamics or the way that this connection has changed your life, you've begun to feel very alone. And so again, you're really being asked to ground yourself, to clear your energy, to turn within. I just heard what I usually say in my videos, or say very often, is tune into yourself before tuning out into the world. Be clear on what it is you want, and I keep hearing hold your standards, because I do think there's a temptation to backslide into familiar connections, dynamics, and circumstances, but you're being asked to hold your standards and to trust that those standards will be met by physical manifestations of the goodness that you deserve. However, the fourth card is action in reverse, which really then clarifies to me even further that you are feeling kind of restless because of this explosive, intense, fast-moving energy that I really did feel coming from your card and from your group's energy. But you're really being asked to not take any radical action. I just heard the healing will happen as it's meant to happen. You don't have to force the healing process. This is kind of a random side note here, but I feel something you'll connect with. I talk a lot on my channel about shadow work, about addressing those unconscious negative beliefs about yourself that have been so repressed they become absorbed into the shadow self, the unconscious mind. And I'm being guided to tell you that you don't have to push or force in order to clear out these negative thoughts, that you can heal them as they come up, which I know sounds kind of like a weird message, but I feel like there is someone out there listening who has felt really restless because you feel like you need to force your own healing. And I just saw an hourglass turned upside down and the sand running out of it. I feel like some of you feel like you are on the clock when it comes to your healing, like somehow you're running out of time to heal, or you're not healing fast enough. Or alternatively, you may be feeling like this person isn't healing fast enough, but you need to know that you are being guided forward effortlessly. I just saw someone floating down a river, and that is how this healing is. You are simply floating down this river of healing, and you will constantly be moving further and further, closer and closer to your life purpose and path and total healing and wholeness. You don't need to force it, and I know some of you are really trying to push upstream. You think you have to paddle upstream. You don't realize that you can just let yourself flow with this river, and you can release your lack mentality, your feeling of time limitation. If you are situation when it comes to your healing or time mentality, a lack mentality connected to love or time or worthiness or abundance. This subliminal is really comprehensive because it addresses blockages in all 7 chakras. So to explore more about this subliminal and any other subliminals I recommend, you can check the link under your group number in the pinned comment or the description box. And finally, the last card I pulled for you is the Angel of Strength. This is the card that just jumped out, and I actually feel like these first 4 cards were describing your situation. So happy family in reverse, some kind of family dynamic changing or being broken as a result of this connection. Contract, explaining that this is all part of your soul contract. Community in the reverse, telling us that you may be feeling lonely as a result of this path that you're on. And finally, action in the reverse, telling us that at this time, the best way forward is not to try to push, to force the healing, to force yourself into action, but to release your need to take action, to let go, to allow healing to flow, to allow your life to flow, to allow the well-being and abundance and goodness that is yours to flow to you effortlessly. So that was all kind of describing your mindset and situation. But this last card, I get a very different energy from. I feel like Angel of Strength is directly meant to comfort you, to say to you, you have come so far, don't look back now. I just saw, like in the Bible story of Lot, when he and his wife were running away from the city Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was burning behind them, and Lot's wife looked back at the city and then turned into a pillar of salt in the story. Metaphorically, I feel like many of you are being guided not to look back, or you will be frozen in your tracks. You won't be able to escape from the past, from your old patterns and dynamics, until you stop looking back and start keeping your eyes ahead on the future. But I know that in order to do that, it requires a lot of faith and trust, and especially strength, which is why this Angel of Strength card is coming to you. I feel that part of this card is reminding you, oh, I just heard so strongly, you don't have to be the strong one all the time. So what I'm hearing is, I feel many of you feel like you have to do and push and force everything yourself in order to manifest anything into your life, whether it's money or happiness or connection. And you're being asked to realize, and I just heard, okay, this is specific, but I feel like some of you were okay, this may just be one person, but I feel like someone listening came from a broken home, or a home with some kind of conflict and family issues, and you had younger siblings, or were some kind of an older child, or if not, you felt like you had to be the parent for your parents. You were kind of forced into an older role or a parent role. This won't be everyone, but I feel at least one person will connect with this. And even if that doesn't connect, I feel that this message will. And this message is, you don't have to be strong all the time. You have a kind of inner fortitude, a kind of inner strength that radiates naturally from within. You don't have to force your own strength. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You simply are strong. I just heard like you're made of the strongest metal on the planet. And of course that's metaphoric, but I feel like you're being told that you are strong as a result of the stuff you were made with through lifetime after lifetime of healing, growth, expansion, and soul evolution. You came into this world strong. You don't have to prove your strength to anyone. You don't have to force anything into being. But also this card is telling you that you are being guided. You are being given strength. You will be given the strength, the protection, and guidance that you need at any given time, which really connects me to the amethyst stone that you chose that we haven't really spoken about yet. But the amethyst stone, of course, connects to the third eye, connects to opening up your intuition, getting in touch with your psychic gifts and abilities. And I feel like many of you are being asked to find strength, not through your labor, effort, and hard work, but through your own intuition and connection to the divine. So however that resonates with you, I hope you receive the kind of message you needed from that. Now, there were so many messages coming through. Oh my gosh, I have to say, guys, you definitely have the most intense and detailed reading of all 4 groups that I've read for, or at least the 3 I've read for so far. So now I am going to pull a couple potential phrases or messages from your person at this time. Okay guys, so now I'm just pulling a few sentences or phrases that could be messages from your person. Okay, the first one I got is, "It wasn't easy." And I just felt this kind of lump in my throat. So I feel that many of you have come out of throat chakra blockages, feeling like you couldn't fully express yourself or your truth because of your past, whether it was because of a restraining family dynamic or relationship or whatever situation it was. And I feel like you've come out of some kind of dark night of the soul or traumatic set of circumstances, or at the very least very chaotic circumstances. And I feel this message is actually coming from you, saying it wasn't easy to overcome all of this. It's almost you speaking out into the universe. I just saw someone kind of by themselves crying out, looking up at the stars, thinking, is anyone out there listening to me? And if that's you, you need to know, yes, something is out there responding back to you, listening to you. You are always being cared for, guided, and responded to within this universe. Okay, the next phrase I pulled is, "Everywhere I go." I feel like this is just a confirmation of what your person feels about you within the connection. I feel that this person senses you and your presence with them at all times. And of course you know this because you are conscious of them as being a twin flame divine counterpart connection. I'm not sure if, because I haven't gotten any messages on whether or not this person is fully in your life physically right now, but I do feel like regardless, they want you to know that everywhere they go, I just heard, "I see your face everywhere I go." So I don't know if this means that they see your face in other people they try to connect with, or if they're just missing you. I just keep getting this strong missing you energy. So I'm not sure if this person is either a little bit disconnected or absent from your life, but I just feel this kind of sadness from that card. And of course, the third card is, "You know me already." And I feel like, again, this is confirmation. I do feel like some of you came to this reading simply asking the question, have I met my twin flame, or is this person my twin flame? And I feel like this is someone, first of all, that you've already met. For most of you, someone you've met, feel very familiar with, and actually have a knowing that this person is a twin flame connection. So if that's kind of who you have in mind right now and you are looking for confirmation, this is confirmation from your person's higher self that they are your twin flame, that this is a twin flame connection. So now I am going to pull some potential letter initials and sign cards. Okay, so I'm going to start with the signs. These could be signs in your chart or your person's chart, either sun, moon, or rising, or these messages just may be intended for someone else, so just take whatever resonates. Scorpio, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. So the last thing I'm going to do is just pull some potential letter initials. This could be the first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or alternatively, sometimes these initials just actually spell words that apply to your reading. So what are some potential letter initials of you or your person, or any words that connect? I got Z as in zebra, H and B, it's kind of in between them, Y, H again. And so since I got double letters, I will say your person may have double letters in their name. H again. Wow, guys. G, N, X, and P. I just heard hug. So I feel like maybe you and this person, even if your connection in the 3D is platonic, I feel like you may have shared some kind of hug or some kind of embrace that was really meaningful and profound to you, because you could feel this strong, intense exchange of energy through all your chakras through this seemingly innocent hug or embrace. Again, this won't apply to all of you. This could also be your twin flame flame trying to say that they long to hug you or embrace you or hold you in their arms. So group number 3, thank you so much for listening to this reading. If you would like to check out the 7 chakra twin flame subliminal I mentioned during your reading, you can do so by clicking the link under your group number in the pinned comment or description box. Have a wonderful, magical rest of your day, and I hope to talk to you again in the next reading. Hello group number 4. If you chose the pink Aragonite, this is going to be your reading. So for those of you who don't know, this specific stone resonates with the heart chakra, love, and relationships, bringing peace and calm to relationships and combating emotional stress. So this stone may already be connecting with you and hopefully sending you some kind of healing energy in some way. Now, the card I pulled for your group was the 9 of Cups, and unlike my previous readings, I actually did a little bit of meditating upon the energy of your group prior to this reading, so I want to share some of what I channeled for you initially. So one message about this card that really jumped out to me is the future is assured. So I don't know if some of you are having some anxiety about the future, either within your connection or within your life more generally, but I feel already some of you needed to hear that message of reassurance. Victory, success, and satisfaction are all associated with this card. So if you came to this looking for some kind of clear affirmation, yes or no, in answer to something, I feel like you are already being affirmed, being told yes, being told that you are on some path to victory or success, or that whatever you had in mind when you came to this reading is going to happen or is assured, and you can be confident in that. Also, if you came in with any kind of concept of some kind of material manifestation, either in regards to money, to career, or to your twin flame connection specifically, I'm hearing that manifestation is on the horizon. Everything is happening for you. All of your wishes are being fulfilled. And I know this may sound overly optimistic or positive, but this really is just what I channeled from your energy from this card. And this isn't the same kind of message I got for all 4 groups. This really is probably the most, I would say, the most overtly positive, reassuring kind of reading that I got from all 4. I just feel a lot of positive momentum coming from your group, specifically group number 4. And I'm just clearly hearing the message that kept coming through is, don't worry about the future. The future is assured. Victory is assured. So I feel that if you're listening, you may already know how that applies to you. But if not, I hope that we can get some specific messages coming through in this video. I'm also hearing something in connection to living in the present. I feel like many of you think ahead or plan ahead a lot into the future. However, I'm hearing that a key to healing yourself and to coming into deeper connection with your twin flame or divine counterpart is going to be to focus on living fully in the present, not worrying what's going to happen in the future. I feel like many of you may be in a situation right now with your twin flame or divine counterpart where you feel as though you are happy in the present in some way. Maybe you're connecting in some way, or maybe you simply feel at peace with yourself regardless of wherever the connection is at right now. But then you almost feel this sense of restlessness attached to that, wondering if it is safe to simply just enjoy where you are right now, either with yourself or with this person. And I feel like you're being asked to release that anxiety about the future, simply to enjoy this connection for what it is right now. And that ironically, by doing this, by grounding yourself in the present moment, ironically, you will also come into, in the future, a deeper harmony, a greater balance, and have more physical manifestation of evidence of what you are already feeling, what you are already experiencing. Your wishes in regards to this connection are going to come true. And one of the ways that they're going to come true is by you learning to fully focus your energy in the present moment. So I'm going to start by just pulling a few cards from the Energy Oracle deck for you guys. Okay, I have 3 cards. I'm going to try to pull 6. We'll see what comes out. Whoa. card in reverse. This is so synchronistic because pink Aragonite, the stone I chose for your group, directly connects to clearing out heart chakra blockages. I feel like many of you have felt, I just heard, an emotional turbulence lately. So if you've been feeling really emotional or feeling a lot of strange heart center or heart chakra sensations, although all twin flames do experience a heart chakra activation or awakening, I feel like you, group number 4, are feeling it the strongest at this time. I feel that many of you have been feeling really emotional, just huge emotional releases or outbursts lately that have been really confusing. This may vary from person to person, but I feel that for some of you this may be anger, for some this may be deep, inconsolable sadness, this may be bursts of excitement followed by really low periods of sadness. And I want you to know that regardless of whether you perceive these emotions as positive or negative, they are all a sign of the heart chakra activating, awakening, breaking open, and processing all of this energy coming from your twin flame within this connection. There is such a tendency to label certain emotions as negative or positive, to judge them or to write them off, to say you shouldn't feel this way or you should feel that way. And I feel many of you began experiencing this self-judgment of your emotions because it was a learned behavior either from childhood, from your parents, from your teachers, or from your peers. Because I do feel like many of you are HSP, you are very empathic, very highly sensitive, so you're more susceptible to being even more affected than most by the heart chakra activation within the twin flame connection. And I feel someone needs to know that even those perceived negative emotions you are feeling aren't necessarily negative. They are just a sign of you processing a lot of energy through the heart center, and I'm being told to ask you to give yourself grace to validate your own emotions, because I feel for many of you, your emotions were not validated either by your parents, by some kind of institution, by your teachers, by your peers, or even by some kind of early toxic romantic relationship. So you are being asked to see and to recognize and to acknowledge your own emotions and to feel your way through them, to recognize them all as part of your healing and growing and expanding process. Because I do feel, and I just keep hearing it resurface, so I'm just going to say it, I feel like some of you are feeling anger, like intense anger, and then you feel really guilty about it because you don't know where it's coming from. And if this is you, again, this won't be everyone, just a very strong message maybe for one person. But if you're feeling this intense rage or anger, you need to know that you are not bad for feeling this way from time to time. Just like all other emotions, anger is one sign that you have an overactive heart chakra, that you are experiencing a lot of built up energetic pressure within the heart center. And so really give yourself grace for anything that you are feeling. Release that self-guilt and self-judgment over the emotions that are processing through you at this time. I will also say, group number 4, I didn't say this to the other groups, but I would specifically recommend for you, because of all this heart chakra energy and overactivity going on, if you are a member on my subliminal site, I would really recommend adding the twin flame heart chakra activation to your playlist. If you have created some kind of daily playlist or overnight subliminals routine, this will really help you to process out all of these emotional energies, to clear and open your heart center, and to lessen some of those negative, more perceived to be negative effects that you may be experiencing through this heart chakra activation. This will also help you to deepen your psychic connection to your twin flame, because twin flames actually communicate psychically, not through the head, but through the heart center, through the heart chakra. So if you're interested in learning more about this twin flame heart chakra activation subliminal, you can check the link under your group number in the pinned comment or the description box. Okay, so the second card I pulled for you is Victory, but it's also in the reversed position. So what I'm hearing actually is that your ego feels as though victory is never coming. I know it sounds like a paradox that we would get victory in the reverse when I just told you in the beginning that I was strongly feeling like victory was on the horizon for you. And I just heard that victory is coming, but just like putting on different colored glasses, you can only see victory if you're looking through the eyes of your soul, if you're looking through a higher level perspective, a 5D perspective. If you're still looking through the eyes of the ego, all you will see is lack, limitation, and failure. You won't be able to see the victory that's coming unless you are looking through the eyes of your soul, which I know sounds really abstract, but I feel like many of you will know how this applies when you're in that kind of a lower vibration ego state. I feel like your experience with this person, with your twin flame, feels very differently than when you feel like you're living and acting into thinking as your higher self. And I do feel this conflict. I feel like many of you listening really feel like you vacillate back and forth, feeling like you're really in that 5D space, really feeling on fire, passionate about life, feeling like you're living and acting as your authentic self, and then suddenly feeling yourself slip back into the 3D, into the ego mind, into that fear, into that anxiety. And I need you to know that nothing is going wrong here. This is all part of the healing process. As I talk about on my channel, when twin flames meet, there's this huge amount of an energy exchange between them that ignites this spiritual awakening. But it's not like you receive all this energy and suddenly you're perfectly at this high vibration. It takes a lot of time in order to fully integrate all of this new energy into our being, in order to break down all of the walls within us that were programmed into us by society, by our parents, by whoever taught us away from our natural state of unconditional love and authentic connection. So I would recommend, and I did recommend to all 4 groups, also my 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal, which is designed to clear out these negative subconscious blockages from the energy field within all 7 chakras. So that will be also linked in under your group number in the pinned comment and description. But anyway, the 3rd card that I pulled for you is the garden and the gate, but it's in the reversed position. I feel like, so what I'm sensing here is that I'm still sensing this conflict between what you know in your heart and soul, what you can see, what you can feel coming for you when you're in that soulful, authentic space, and this disconnect between what you see when you're living through the ego. And with this garden and the gate in reversed, I feel like it's almost so painful for you to feel so close, because there's a part of you, the soul part of you, that knows you are so close to this victory, you are so close to this garden. Specifically in this love connection, this may apply because you feel so close to manifesting some kind of deeper connection or reunion with this person. But I feel like there is some perceived barrier seeming to be locking you out. I don't know if for some of you this may be a third party or a person. For some of you this may be, I just heard a deal breaker. There may be something, either a deal breaker for this person or for you, that seems to be acting as this metaphorical gate locking you out of each other's lives. But you can still see the garden in this metaphor. You can still see what is possible for you with this person. You get glimpses of it. But I'm feeling like it's almost even more painful for you to be able to be so close to this manifestation that you can taste it, that you can touch it, and yet still feeling so locked out of it in some ways. I know that's kind of, some of these messages coming through are very abstract, but I'm really hoping that that fully connects with someone who needs to hear it, and that you know how that applies to you. The next card I pulled is the Sun card, and this time in the upright position. I feel like this goes along with the garden and the gate in reversed. This is telling you that, yes, you are sensing that manifestation, that victory is very close. And you're correct in sensing that, because this card symbolizes a new beginning with this person, some kind of a fresh start. That gate is going to unlock for you. That gate is going to open for you. And the manifestation is going to be more magnificent than you ever could have imagined. And I just heard summer. Summer actually came up in one of my last readings, but I'm really hearing through this sun on this card and through summer, I'm hearing that something is really going to shift for you in the summer, whether this is with this person specifically in this connection or in your life in general. I hear the summer is some kind of a turning point in a really positive way for you. And I feel like many of you are intuitive and are already feeling that shift coming in the summer, because we're getting closer to the summer with the spring and the warm air. And again, I feel like for some of you this is kind of painful, because you can see or sense all of these beautiful things coming to you, all of this victory coming to you, but you still feel locked out of it in some way. And I also just heard that gate, that feeling of being locked out, that is just your ego's perception. There truly is there's nothing that could possibly lock you out from this person or from the good that is coming to you. The ego just likes to trick us into believing that we can be separated from what is meant for us, but the truth is we can never be separated from the good that we intend for ourselves on a soul level, whether this is within a twin flame connection or in any area of our lives. The next card I pulled for you is Community in the reverse. This is the second time this card has come up during this video. This also came up, I believe, in the last group. And this to me is just reiterating what's really been coming through the collective through many of my readings, which is a sense of loneliness, a sense of hermit mode, of isolation, of lack of community. And the last card is Healer of the Ages in the reverse. I just heard that you don't realize just how powerful your own healing abilities are. And specifically, I heard that many of you tend to, there's two messages coming through here. Either you are a person that seeks a lot of external healing from other people you've given over your power to other people, believing that only someone else could heal you, whether this was in codependency, in a romantic relationship in your past, whether this was following the life path that your parents set out for you because you didn't trust your own judgment, your own intuitive abilities. You've given over your power in some way. And in this way, you've actually held yourself back from your own healing. Or another message of this is you are someone who is a powerful healer, but you've always turned your healing abilities outward rather than inward. So you give a lot to other people. You're very empathic. You give time, resources, advice to others to soothe and heal other people. You're a magnet for broken people and situations because people recognize your healing abilities, but you don't turn enough of that healing energy in towards yourself. You don't take enough time to soothe yourself, to participate in self-healing and self-loving exercises in order to heal yourself. And I'm hearing that this is going to be a block for some of you to overcome. And once you do learn how to either stop relying on other people to heal you or stop giving too much of your time and resources to other people, once you learn to turn that healing power inward and truly recognize your own healing abilities to heal and shift yourself, that will be the key to opening this gate to not only deeper connection and harmony within this twin flame connection, but also opening the gate to so much unexpected abundance and joy that is trying to make its way into your life, and that I feel you already sense. I feel you already kind of know that this is coming, and you are right for sensing that. Okay guys, so the last thing I'm going to do for you is pull potential sign cards of either you or your person, and also some potential letter initials. Okay, so I am just pulling the sign cards now. These could be signs that are strong in your chart or your person's chart, either sun, moon, or rising. Alternatively, these could just be messages meant for someone else. I know sometimes these super specific messages don't resonate with everyone. Okay, so far I have Pisces, Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Libra. So Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Cancer, Leo, or Libra, sun, moon, or rising, either in your or your person's chart. And the last thing I'm going to do is roll my letter initial dice. Okay, so these could be letter initials in your person or your first, middle, or last name, or sometimes these letters spell words that connect to your reading. T, D as in dog, J, A, F, I. I just heard for some reason faith, so I feel like feel like this goes back to needing to trust what you are seeing through your intuition, what you are sensing that is on the horizon for you, the coming manifestations that you are sensing intuitively, trusting within this connection rather than relying upon your physical senses, rather than relying upon what you can clearly see, feel, and touch, if that connects with any of you. Okay, I got C as in cat, V as in vase, S, V again. So your person may have double letters in their name, and I also heard save, but in the context of save yourself. I don't know why I was hearing that, but I feel it connects with that Healer of the Ages card in reverse, that you have very powerful healing abilities and capabilities, but no one else can heal you or shift you. No one and nothing else, even external circumstances, environments, people. Even within the twin flame connection, only by healing and shifting within can we truly shift and heal the balance of the connection. Can we truly shift and heal this person? So I'm hearing a lot of messages telling you to turn your healing energy into tension inward rather than to the external. So group number 4, that is all for your reading. The subliminals I recommended to you will be linked under your group number in the pinned comment and the description box of this video, so you can try out any of those free for 7 days when you create a free trial account on my membership website. I hope you all have a wonderful rest